Everyone, Tiffany Norton here, and today I'm going to speak to you about something that is not necessarily along the lines of what I normally discuss. However, I feel like this is a subject that people get wrong quite often in our society, and as someone who's trained in this particular area, I can no longer keep my mouth shut about certain things. And I'm very tired of watching television, reporters, online personalities, television personalities getting this particular subject wrong. And the subject that I want to discuss is rape investigation. Wow, right? Tiff, why do you want to talk about that? Well, some of you may know, some maybe are just learning, but my college degree, my background is in law enforcement. I am trained in law enforcement, although I never became a law enforcement agent. One of my primary areas of study was criminal investigation, particularly within crimes of abuse of rape and child abuse and molestation. So, I'm going to read you a little something out of my textbook from college. Now, bear in mind, I graduated in 1996, and this book was written before that, and by a few years, 1987. And the title is Practical Aspects of Rape Investigation, a Multidisciplinary Approach by Robert R. Hazelwood and Ann Wolbert Burgess. I'm just going to read you a little bit. In this chapter, I will describe the themes that were expressed again and again by people I met with as I examined rape cases, counseled rape victims, and accompanied them through the medical and court systems. These remarks were made spontaneously to me in private or in a public setting during the course of my work. And there's a couple of different categories, and I'll list them. First, intuitive reactions to rape victims. Number 1, distress. And now these are some quotes, okay? I have 5 daughters, and I feel it would be better for them to fight a rapist, even if this provoked him to kill them. If you live, you will look back on the rape as a bad memory. If you are dead, you have nothing to worry about. Detective. There are rape cases that are distressing, and it disturbs your mind. You start thinking this could happen to your family. Like when you see a young kid raped. Gynecologist. What a way to make a living. Pediatrician. Okay? The police and hospital emergency service staff members are 2 professional groups that see the rape victim within hours of the attack. They routinely see all of these victims, and often their immediate reactions are reactions of distress, just like the ones I just listed. Police must face with many unpleasant and difficult situations as part of their daily work. Although they may feel depressed when dealing with a rape victim for many reasons, one of the most common is a feeling of helplessness or not knowing what to do to relieve the distress of the victim. Officers and frontline crisis interveners have considerable influence on the psychological state of the victim and must use their knowledge and skills to positively assist the recovery process. Here's another category of reactions that she got. Involvement. I don't want to get involved in these cases. I just bring the girl to the hospital and that's it. You go soft if you really thought about the rape cases you see every night. Police officer. I don't have time to listen to their stories. Nurse. I am calling about a woman who just came to our clinic and she said she was raped. I thought you would know what to do. Mental health worker. People who work with rape victims admit that they have difficulty thinking about the problem, thus implying that it is overwhelming. Professionals may say they are too busy to think about it or to listen to the victim, or they may not want to deal with the victim at all and seek advice from others. If the officer can understand his own feelings and reactions, however, he can keep himself from over-involvement, overreaction, and overcompensation. Another group of reactions: avoidance and silence. Rape cases are closed-mouthed affairs. No one likes them. Police develop certain attitudes towards them. This is from a police officer. There is rape, and there is rape. I'd rather have a robbery or a murder than rape cases. Assistant District Attorney. Most hospitals in this city won't touch a rape case because of the legal implications. Social worker. Sexuality is not generally discussed openly in American society. Criminal sexuality is even less openly discussed, and it is apparent that by not addressing the topic, society in general and the criminal justice system in particularly deny the extent of the problem and insulate themselves from its realities. No shit. Indeed, those who force our attention to the subject are often deemed to be strange or involved in kinky work. Rape has been treated throughout history with silence. People find it difficult to talk about, and the police and legal system find it equally difficult to deal with. Professionals often avoid rape cases because of the inconvenience of the legal process. Sympathy for the victim. When you see a victim like that, who has evidence of trauma, and you know she has been emotionally raped and sexually assaulted and all, well, your heart just goes out to her. Gynecologist. I remember one 60-year-old woman who was stabbed and raped and unnatural acts performed upon her. I felt so depressed. Gynecologist. I'm not a father, but with a minor child, I can understand how upset you, the mother, must be. Assistant District Attorney. The severely bruised, the old, and the young victims of rape receive considerable sympathy from professionals. Perhaps in such cases, the violence and non-sexual aspect of the rape may be seen most clearly. Anger and revenge. Kind of where I feel it. This is where I always used to end up mentally. Thank God she's okay. If she wasn't, I'd want to have him castrated. Victim's father. The man is a degenerate. He should be put away. Pharmacist. When I'm calling on a rape case, I am angry, not at the patient, but at the guy. Gynecologist. I'd go out and get the bastards myself if anything happened to my daughters. Gynecologist. The biblical solution, an eye for an eye, is offered by some people as a method to compensate the victim for the trauma she had to suffer. In fact, the earliest beginnings of social order were based on a primitive system of retaliatory force. Other people believe the assailant should be sent to jail, given psychiatric treatment, or sentenced to death. Others state how they would personally deal with the assailant. Next category, anger at the system. I've heard the police treat you terribly. I wouldn't want to be questioned by them. College student. I had a friend who had to sit and wait for hours at the hospital, and then they just rushed her through. College student. If guys were hitchhiking and got beaten up by 4 girls, would they blame the guys? Hell no. The newspapers play it up. Secretary. We break our necks to get these guys into court, and then the door just opens and they walk right back out on the street. Police officer. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at with the Diddy case. All that work, all this press coverage, all these hot takes, all the people that made money online talking about this case, letting people know what they thought, who's right, who's wrong, how the system works, how it doesn't. You know so much and everybody else knows nothing. Shame on you. Shame on you for trying to monetize something as horrible as this, first of all. Second of all, yeah, a lot of you dumbasses got it wrong, because I could have told you from day fucking one, especially because it was Diddy, it was never going to work. They never believe it. Because then they have to believe things about themselves they don't want to confront. And that's what this is all about. And the other thing that this is all about is because if they don't let Diddy out, Diddy is going to start squawking about who are at those white parties and what type of guy likes to go to those kind of parties, those freak-offs that Diddy was putting around. Oh, I don't know, maybe people that are sexual perverts. Perverted. They have perverted sexuality into something disgusting and gross and vile. Your sexuality is a gift from God. When someone says, I'm going to take your sexuality for myself and I'm going to make it what I like, that is a perversion. That's perversion. I wonder if an NDA was signed or something as part of this, because it just feels a little too convenient that the Epstein tapes won't come out, these tapes won't come out, and we've got decades and decades of different people in Hollywood all saying in one capacity or another that they were at those parties, that they were wild, and everybody knew. 50 Cent called it. Yeah. 50 called it. Terrence Howard called it. It's all because these men are gay. And they're attracted to other men. And they don't know what to do with that. Because they've made up in their minds some macho bullshit mask that they think protects them from ever being harmed again and can protect them from emotional damage. No. You just don't have the balls to be who you are. All that money, all that power, all that fame, and you got no guts. No fucking guts. A real man, regardless of their orientation, would say, this is who I am. Fuck you if you don't like it. That's a man. That's a masculine quality. When women do it, we're called men. And we're called aggressive and all those other kinds of things. But you know why? Because standing up for what's true and saying what's false out loud takes guts. And it's something that Diddy does not have. Never did. All he is a bully in a robe and a scepter that he gave himself. And honestly, not a great musician. All he ever did was just like produce people that already had a ton of money, or a ton of talent, and he made a ton of money off of it. He wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for Biggie. Biggie was the real talent. Rest in peace, Biggie. I think it's interesting though that men never make the connection. This brings me back to a conversation I had earlier this week. A guy was saying that implying again that women sleep their way to the top, and that's how women get promotions. And I challenged him, and then he blocked me. So I won the argument. As far as the internet goes, that's a win for me. That's a W column. But I said, did it ever occur to you? Oh yeah, it was Cuomo. That's what we were talking about. I said, this whole DEI thing, and all these men are obsessed with the idea that women are taking perfectly good jobs that men should have. I'll bite. Maybe they are. Let's think about it. I'm Cuomo. I like babes. I like to hit on people. I work a lot. So it's a lot easier for me to bring the people I'm sexually interested in to work. Really saves time. It's more efficient for the taxpayers, right? Yeah. My point being, there may be situations where there are men applying for that job. that are far more qualified than the women that end up getting the job. But it's not for the reason you think. You say it's because she's sleeping her way to the top. Or what if the reason is because he's trying to fuck her? He's trying to fuck her. And if he doesn't give her the job, well, then she won't come to work and it will be hard for him to fuck her. And he doesn't actually want a competent male in that role. He doesn't want a man getting his coffee. He doesn't want a man pushing back on any of his old-fashioned ideas or his demands. He doesn't want to negotiate anything with an equal. He wants a slave. Now, the woman accepting the job does not know that you applied for it. She does not know who else applied for the job. She does not know that more qualified candidates applied for the job. So when she's accepting the job, she's not accepting the job against you or in conjunction with you. She never heard of you. When have you ever been hired for a job and they're like, these are all the people we didn't hire? It doesn't happen. And you know it. Men are the ones who perpetrate all the bullshit. And men need to stand up to other men and call it what it goddamn is. You can't keep hiding behind our skirts. And I'm specifically talking to liberal men. Get the fuck out of here with that. Go be men. Go fight, go verbally fight the Republicans like all the rest of us have to. Quit sharing memes and acting like you're fucking with your snarky little takes like, oh, well, I guess, I guess I'll be fine. Fuck you. You won't be fine. No, you won't. Anyway. That's my Diddy rant. Rapists want to take what isn't theirs. And they want to take things without permission. They want to take what isn't offered. And if you offer them something, then they just want more. These are people that are insatiable. They have a pit in their soul that cannot be filled with anything other than acquiring things. And those things, in the case of rapists, are people. Conquests. Photographs. Tapes. So you can look back on them one day and go, look at my ego. Ooh, I'm the best. Such a man. You're a little bitch, Diddy. And fuck Snoop Dogg too. You too, bitch. I worked at a hip hop station, and I'll tell you what, I'm never listening to any of your guys' shit ever again. You thought we went hard against Michael Jackson. I'd take y'all some Michael Jackson motherfuckers. R. Kelly too. Y'all are some Michael Jackson level motherfuckers out here.